EGM Network.
Welcome to the second half of Classic Car Radio. I'm here, Keith McDonald, and I'm here with Mike Carano and Steve Charbonneau. Welcome back, guys.
Hey.
And before we go any further, I just want to wish one of my best friends, his name's Max, and I want to wish him a happy birthday today. He turned 7 years old. My buddy Max. He's a Labrador Retriever. so anyway, happy birthday, Max. You'll be getting a special treat tonight. Let's jump to one more news story. Now, you know something? HotRod.com is publishing archive articles online, which are really fun to read.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This one is the factory V8 Chevy Vega that should have been.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
everybody knows that Vegas are great, like Dick Arbitel, he raced a Vega wagon.
Yeah, Grumpy Jenkins.
Yeah, there you go. So GM's factory Skunk Works, they called it back then, turned out the Chevy Vega with a well-engineered all-aluminum small block in 1972. But it didn't make it into production, but it certainly inspired a generation of hot rodders. So this is the archive article published originally in July 1972 called Chevy's Aluminum V8 Vega. That's a lot of fun to read. There's a lot of pictures and stuff. So if you're a car guy and you love these old articles, in 72, I was 16.
Yeah.
You weren't even born.
Nope.
Were you born yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was 72. I was 12.
Okay. Oh, okay, good. Anyway, so it's fun to read these articles. Because back then, that's when I was just getting into cars and I was reading this stuff back then,
Yeah.
And I wanted a car in the worst way. And my dad knew I was into the cars and stuff. So my first car was an Impala SS.
Right.
283, turbo hydromatic, convertible. But it was an SS, man.
Yeah.
Had the center console, I had the buckets, everything.
Yeah, when you're taking the looking at that Vega right there was a V8 Vega at the Elks Car Show on.
Right, yes, it was.
That was a beautiful car.
And then they came out, yes, it was. And I took a picture and put it on Facebook of that black car.
Yeah. It was a nice car.
Yeah, and then they came out with the Cosworth.
Cosworth.
Now,
yeah,
I don't know much
about
about that.
That was a 4-cylinder.
It was still a 4, but they did something to beef it.
I think they did they put a turbo on that? The Cosworth Vega or whatever Cosworth makes.
Something they did.
I think it was
an
a turbo
intake,
or some kind of thing that they
right,
did.
Yeah. The Cosworth was actually the reason that I could have bought a Cosworth back then, but I didn't because I didn't trust those engines.
Right, yeah. Baldwin Motion made a Vega.
Yeah.
Grumpy Jenkins used to race the Vegas. Baldwin, right. I think Nicky Chevrolet, I think they made a Vega.
Right.
There was a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
That my buddy had a station wagon with a V8 in it. That car flew. It got some power to it.
When the gas prices went up, I remember going to Salt's Chevrolet in Salem, Massachusetts with my 75 Trans Am because I was like, this thing eats so much gas. And I was working at a hockey rink and everything. So I was like, I'm going to drive that new Vega GT. Yeah. So I got in the Vega GT. I drove down the street, turned around, brought it back. I was, no thanks. Yeah. I got back in my Trans Am and said, I'll buy the gas. I'll buy the gas. There was no way that Vega GT was just dead. 75.
Right. And what was the gas back then? Like 20 cents, 22 cents?
No. It was up around, I don't know, 80 cents.
80 cents.
Maybe 80 cents. Yeah. Maybe less. Maybe 70.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember.
I remember when I was a kid, when I was buying 93 for the Camaro, and it was only $1, but it was like 97 cents.
Right. Yeah.
$20 used to fill your tank.
Oh yeah.
And you were able to go to Sunoco and get the jet fuel back then. You were able to get 112 octane or 108 octane. Yeah. Or 104, whatever. I think they had 104 and 112.
Right.
Some of the gas stations out west have the race fuel and the E85.
Right. We used to, my buddy decided not to go to college, so his parents bought him a 72 GTO instead. Took his college fund and let him pick out whatever car he wanted. He got a 72 GTO, which is why I eventually bought a 72 because I love that car of his.
Right.
So anyway, we would get out of high school, jump in his car, go to the gas station. We wouldn't buy lunch. We would each have $1 our mothers would give us.
Yeah.
We'd buy $2 worth of gas, and we would drive all. That was 35 cents then.
Yeah, right.
In 72, it was only 35 cents a gallon, and that was for premium.
Right.
You know, so what a deal.
Crazy.
What a deal. The good old days, man.
Paying $5-6 here over there.
Yeah,
It's up, it's down.
Unbelievable. But, you know,
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a great time. And I was running track, and I ended up quitting track because I wanted to cruise in that GTO all the time.
Wanted to go drive around and spend more money.
Yeah, exactly. Go home starving. Why didn't you eat lunch today? Yeah, Ma, I had lunch. Yeah, and, my lunch was 3 gallons of gas or whatever it was.
We haven't really been covering NASCAR, but Daytona 500 was pretty good.
Yeah, I watched
it. William Byron won.
Yeah, the race, second year in a row.
So
and he that rain delay. I watched the rain delay for a while, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch a movie. I kept looking at radar on my phone while I watched the movie, and then when I saw the rain moving out, I said, okay, they're going to start drying. Kept on watching the movie. And then when the movie was over, I turned it on, and they were coming around.
Right.
You know,
it was nice to see.
And it was great to see Trump.
Yeah, the Trump
cruising around in the Beast on the track.
Went around the track.
Did you see it, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that limo was like 22 or 24,000 pounds. I think.
Oh yeah, it's a heavy.
Yeah. A bomb could go off under that car.
I couldn't believe the weight they were saying. I was like, holy cow!
The glass is like an inch thick on it or something.
It's an amazing.
And the bottom is so shielded that, like I said, a bomb could go off underneath it, and everyone in the car would be fine.
Yeah. Bulletproof and everything.
Yeah, they have 2 of them, and they got they got the 2 planes. And the planes actually drop off almost like depth charges if there's a missile going on.
Right.
It's like a depth charger, but it's not.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
The missiles go in a different direction.
And they're called decoys.
Yeah. So you never know what's going on these days.
So I wonder if they drove the Beast up from Mar-a-Lago, because Daytona is
well, it's right on the plane. So I doubt they drew.
Is it actually on Air Force One?
I believe so.
Or did they fly a cargo plane?
No, I think it's on Air Force One.
Well, it's not.
I'm not sure, but
it's not exactly a small plane, but it doesn't look like a cargo plane to me.
It's actually pretty big, that plane.
Yeah, I know. But 22,000 pounds.
That's a lot.
In the back of a plane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to have like Jelly Roll take a ride with them. It'd be too much weight. Anyway, what do we got? Oh, we got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time.
All right, so let's do a little history then. This is fun. I try to focus more on American car history and not as much European anymore, because nobody really seems to care what happened in Europe in the old days. Sometimes I do if it's a good story. Like Enzo Ferrari was born, this week back in the 1898, I believe. I'm not sure which date because I took it off. Anyway, but this is a big week for NASCAR, of course, because the Daytona 500. So on February 16, 1988, after 20 attempts, Dale Earnhardt finally wins his first Daytona 500, driving the famous black number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. He recorded an average speed of 172.7 miles per hour, which is pretty fast. February 18th, 1997, 25-year-old Jeff Gordon claims his first Daytona 500 victory, becoming the youngest winner in the history of the 500-mile event. February, this is American now.
Right.
February 17th, 1972, the Volkswagen Beetle surpasses the Ford Model T as the world's best-selling car as the 7,034th Beetle rolls off the assembly line.
Wow.
Imagine that, 15 million Beetles. And where are they? You don't see them. Car shows, you see one here and there.
Right.
I got one
the guy, do you really? The guy in Sebastian Muscle Cars, you never see him anymore with his Beetle.
He sold it.
Oh, did he really?
He sold it, and then I think he sold it to a guy that's in the AACA. You'll see it at under the Oaks.
Okay. Okay, and here's a bad one. February 18th, 2001, Dale Earnhardt Sr., considered one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history, dies at the age of 49 in the last lap crash of the 43rd Daytona 500. Earnhardt was vying for third place when he collided with another car and then crashed into the wall. And that crash did not look that bad.
No, and the only person...
I was really surprised that he was killed.
And the only person that knew it was bad was Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah.
He said it immediately.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Really?
Yeah. And Kenny Schrader, when he pulled the window net down and seen it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
just wasn't because he wore that little helmet.
That was my driver too, Schrader. I was rooting for him all the time. And then
he pulled that window net down, was like.
Yeah. And then, what happened was they didn't have the Hans device in it back then. And the weight of his head and the helmet, when he went forward and stopped from his harness, it detached his head from his spine, which is a horrible thing. But anyway, he died almost, I guess that would be instantly, right?
Yeah. That was horrible.
And who won the race? Darrell knew right away, but who won the race? Michael Waltrip.
His
brother.
Yeah.
Brother,
Junior was second,
Right, yeah. He was actually blocking so nobody could get around him.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, DEI 1, 2, 3.
Right. Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, they were first, second, and third.
Wait, who was second?
Junior.
Junior was second.
Junior?
Waltrip won. Junior was second.
Junior Earnhardt?
Yeah.
Oh, was he really?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, because I got a picture at my house. It's the three of those cars on the last lap.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't know he was racing then. I guess he was because he's already retired.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, because he came back when they came back in July and won the other race.
Right, he won the July race.
Oh, he won the July Pepsi 600 or
600, 400,
yeah,
whatever they did.
In the
Pepsi
baseball
400.
car.
In the what?
In the baseball car.
Right.
Okay, February 19th, 1984, driver Cale Yarborough wins for the fourth time at Daytona. That's big to win the 4 times at Daytona.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we had the guy this weekend, Byron.
Won the last 2 years.
Won the last 2 in a row, so that's pretty neat. That's isn't that the first back-to-back?
Yeah.
I think it's the first back-to-back ever, yeah.
All right. What else you got?
February 20th, 1909, Hudson Motor Car Company is formed by a group of 8 Detroit businessmen to produce a car that would sell for less than $1,000. But $1,000 is a lot in 1909.
Yeah.
I think you could take the Titanic, get across, get on the Titanic, and come back and pay for that ticket and die. And you could die.
I don't know too much about Hudson, but did they merge with somebody later on? Or
I think they did, but I'm not sure who.
Any ideas?
Nope. Couldn't tell you.
Maybe.
That's why we need Billy DeArton just on standby.
Well, Billy will just text me on Facebook.
He'll be texting us and Hudson was bought out by so-and-so.
I should check my Facebook before we leave here. Billy DeArton will
I should have asked him the other day. He was in the shop. I think it was yesterday. Hey, you want me to smack Keith for you? I should have asked him.
Thanks.
What else you got?
All right, one more time. February 21st, 1948, and this is the big one, in NASCAR, or the National Association for Stock Car Racing, was incorporated. So this is a big week, and this is when NASCAR was formed, 1948. Imagine that.
1948. And I think in 2028, they should let them run on the beach.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think? 80th anniversary.
Right.
Set up the beach like the old days and let them run on the beach.
People love that.
It would be 80 years, right? 2028?
No, yeah.
That's 80
28,
years.
yes.
It'd be 80 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Let them run on the beach for a change.
Yeah. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
That's where they ran before.
That's right.
That's where they started, on the beach.
They should at least do something.
Right. Well, they will, I'm sure. Okay, we got to go on a break. And when we get back, we have some tech talk for you. So don't go away.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
On the Patriot.
It's the longest-running seafood festival in the Southeast, the Grant Seafood Festival. 2 days of live music and seafood to make your taste buds dance. March 1st and 2nd. Over 150 crafters. Admission and parking are free. As always, the Grant Seafood Festival is 100% volunteer-run. All proceeds benefit the Grant community. The Grant Seafood Festival, March 1st and 2nd. Powered by Gary Yeoman's Ford Palm Bay. Maps and details at grantseafoodfestival.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
It'll be the bee's knees. The Roaring Twenties Downtown Friday, presented by GHO Homes. Bring your fedoras, flappers, and feathers for this free street party in Vero Beach with live music by the New Deco, plus kids games, beer, and food trucks. It'll be the Cat's Pajamas. Admission is free, see? Presented by GHO Homes and Millennium Cremation Service. The Roaring Twenties Downtown Friday and Main Street Vero Beach event. Friday, February 28th at 6 p.m. in downtown Vero Beach.
When the check engine light comes on, turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Time for an oil change? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Brake work, alignments, maintenance, and more? Turn to Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach. Your certified service center specializing in alignments, repairs, oil changes, radiators, brakes, even auto electric repair. Just east of US 1 at 1212 23rd Street, Vero Beach. Turn to the local mechanics you can trust. Treasure Coast Auto of Vero Beach.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. Before we jump into Tech Talk, you know, we just saw the Treasure Coast Automotive ad. Steve, you've been posting and you're looking for some help. Yep. Tell us what you need. Tell maybe someone listening might know what they're doing and show up and work.
Yeah, longer than one day. I need people. I need a painter that's good, that knows what to do. And then I could use another body guy and a guy that can do metal work, like restoration work. We got tons of work. I mean, restoration stuff, I'm scheduled out for at least a year.
Oh, wow.
There's about 13, 14 cars on the waiting list.
Wow.
So, and I'm just not taking any more projects in until we finish the other one. And then,
right.
And the people aren't dropping them off anymore, right? You told them to keep their cars until their number's up.
Yeah, I had one last night. They towed one at night. I was like, hey, I called them this morning. I was like, didn't I tell you not to bring it in? I almost wanted to tow it back to the guy's house. Just like, hey, okay, you made your point. I'm going to make mine, but
he's pushing it.
I'm trying to be nice. You know?
Right.
So what about these? You're having people that come in and they only last a day or two and they leave and then they say they know how to paint and then they don't even know how to run the mixers.
Yeah.
Stuff
and
like
then
that,
I got
right?
people that's like, yeah, you know, I can do flat rate, I can do hourly, and they're like, I got to make 100 hours plus a week. And then yesterday the guy tells me it's too much for him. It's not. And I'm like, we weren't even pressuring the guy. I'm like, here you go. And he's like, and we just got a list, you know, this car's done, that car's got to be done, this car's got to be done, just go in order. And he just, I think this is a little too much for me. I'm like, dude, you're telling me you got to make 100, 150 hours a week, and you're telling me, then he's telling me it can't be done. I'm like, well, that's funny. My other two painters didn't have a problem doing that.
Right.
You know, then I can go in the paint booth and I can still make 40, 50, 60 hours at night just from painting from 5 to 10. It's like, how can I and you can't?
Right. And what about, what was the other question I had? Well, I have one more question for you about that. But I know what it was. What is in your paint shop right now? Like, what did you just paint? Like, you worked Sunday night. I know, you know, you work Sunday. What is there something that you've taken out of there that's just finished? I
did some paint work on the 58 Cadillac Eldorado Brome.
Okay.
And then I got...
What color is that?
What is it called? Grimal gray?
Oh, it's like grayish?
It's like a grayish blue.
Oh, nice.
Real pretty color, but it's Grimal. I think it's Grimal gray, but it's actually like a blue metallic.
I see.
But it's got some, you know, definitely got some gray in it. But yeah, I did that, and then did a Nissan Rogue last night, and some Sprinter doors for a back of a Mercedes last night, and a couple other little things. And then we just did a 2012 Dodge Ram pickup. I was wet sanding and buffing that last night while stuff was in the paint booth drying.
So these are collision things too, right? Then.
Oh yeah. The Dodge truck was an overall. Yeah, and I think that's what scares a lot of painters too. They see the old cars and they just get, you know, they're chickens.
Yeah,
it's like but you think that the old cars would be easy to do?
I'd rather do an overall than some of the collision cars. You know, some collisions are nice, but when you see the final product of the overall paint job, you know, when it's all wet sand and buffed out, like the red Corvette, the '67 and stuff.
Right.
You know, and then I did that '66 Vet that was blue. That thing came out great, and then you know, it's just. You see the finished product, it's pretty cool.
Right. And
then we did that, the 91 F-150, you know, that was like, the guy sunk a lot of money in an F-150. I mean, we had to cut the roof off of that thing, and I'm like, really? And he's like, I bought it brand new, and I want to keep it. And that thing came out great. He gets compliments everywhere he drives that truck.
Beautiful.
What about that Trans Am you had? Didn't you have a Trans Am? Is that out of the shop now?
Nope. It's a 2000 WS6. I just got the steering column because the tilt was all wore out in it.
I see.
And I just got a bunch of the weather stripping on Monday. A lot of the stuff came off back order finally. So I got the glass put back in the car on Monday, and then I started putting the weather strip back on, some of it this morning, trying to move that along. Once I get the glass back in like it's in now, but now I get the T-top strips and all that in, I can seal the car. I'll put the interior back in it, and then I'll start.
What color is that?
It's that, what do they call it? Victory red. It's that bright red.
Oh, okay.
Bright red.
Nice.
Right.
Very nice. Okay.
And real quick, Jesse, what's going on with your hoedown, or what are you doing?
Oh, yeah. It's
Roaring 20s.
The Roaring 20s. Yes, sir. It's going to be last Friday, February. And that's February 28th.
Right.
6 to 9 p.m. Free. It's free entertainment. You can't beat free. And if it's nice, we hope to have some car people there. And so come on out. Downtown Vero Beach, 14th Avenue, 21st Street. And we've got live music by the New Deco, a Kid Zone, and everything. It's going to be cool.
And what,
awesome.
you have to dress like you're in the Roaring 20s? Is that what you're doing? Or?
You don't have to.
Right,
but you can.
Look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you got a pair of spats, you throw them on and you come out there and you're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, some flappers or something. I don't know. Maybe a top hat or something. I don't know. Dress the part.
There you go. And cars are welcome if you park behind the stage.
Yeah.
All right, Keith. Now
Mike's a good flapper, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen him in action. He had a few too many at one of the parties. At the Christmas party once.
All right, what's going on here?
All right, let's try to do some tech talk. We only got like 2 minutes left.
That's all right.
3 minutes.
Go ahead.
Pete from Vero Beach says, guys, I keep cleaning. We've had a question identical to this before. I keep cleaning my 66 Malibu steering wheel cover, but after it sits for about a week, it gets all sticky. What can I do to strip this, keep this from happening, to stop this from happening? Any tricks or miracle solutions?
I don't know.
I wouldn't use a steering wheel cover. Just use the stock wheel.
Yeah, because it's metal.
Yeah.
Because whenever you put anything on it, and just being in the sun will make it sticky.
Yes, it will.
You know?
When you have your oils from your hands and everything that get on it, and
a lot of times you got to see what's causing it, though, too. Like the steering wheel could be delaminating. If the steering wheel is delaminating, you're not getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, there's really no miracle solutions. You just got to
try different mild things, though. Like try white vinegar or stuff like that. But rinse it off when you're done.
They say WD-40 works on everything.
Yeah,
try it.
That's right.
Give it a shot.
I'm sorry, Pete, but we don't have an answer on that one, I guess, Greg in Port St. Lucie, my 67 GTO is in a closed garage in Stewart with visiting rodents for 8 years. The previous owner didn't drive the car at all. It has strong, musty smell. I pulled out the replacement carpet, which is fairly new, as I recall, he told me. I sprinkled it with baking soda and vacuumed it. I also removed mice nests from the headliner, as well as the trunk lid and hood, and cleaned all those places out very well. The car still has a musty smell, although not anywhere near as bad. Is there anything I could do to eliminate the smell short of replacing the carpet and headliner?
Get a good carpet cleaner. You got to clean the carpet. Either way, you got to clean. Yeah. You got to take the carpet out, because you got to remember, underneath that carpet is probably the mat. Yeah, that covers it.
So you got the insulation and all that stuff.
That's all got to come out. If you didn't take that out, it's going to stink forever.
You can do some good deodorizers. Like I know, like Ozium, that makes the good one. You can spray it in, seal the car up. But there's a lot of different stuff like Febreze, but you'll have to soak the carpet in Febreze probably 2 or 3 times and keep it closed up.
Or you could go to just about anywhere, really. Automotive parts, but on eBay, you can, for about $55, you can get an ozone generator and set it up in the car and run it. And that's what these guys do when they do duct work in your house to get rid of the smell when they clean the ducts out. They leave those ozone generators in the house for like a day. And they come back and get them the next night.
And there were some good...
Let them run for 24 hours.
And there are good car detailers around that you could go to.
That's true, too. Yeah.
So, give it a shot.
All right, we got to go. Yeah. We're all done. Sorry, Richard in Melbourne and Joe from the internet. Next week we'll get you. We are American... we are Classic Car Radio, and we are out of here. Thanks for listening.
Don't forget the Patriot Radio, 107.9 WAXE, 2 to 3 on Saturday.
See y'all.